My dad didn't know I was still on the line when he said it. She's dead weight. Always has been. I was standing in my late grandma's kitchen, hand in a drawer, asking about one tiny piece of paperwork, and I heard my parents, Mark and Denise, laughing about how they were going to use guilt to take the house my grandmother Evelyn left me. Not help me. Take it. Like I was some broken investment that finally started paying out. In that moment, something in me cracked so loud I swear I could hear it. If it were you standing there hearing your own parents call you a burden, what would you do? Tell me in the comments. And if this hits a nerve, like, share, and subscribe for part 2. I grew up being told I should be grateful for every little thing, like basic survival was some luxury item my parents were gifting me. You think money grows on trees? My dad, Mark, would snap. Be grateful there's a roof over your head. But the roof he threw in my face wasn't even the one I ended up calling home. That one belonged to my grandma, Evelyn. Her house was the only place that didn't feel like walking on broken glass. When she passed and left that fully paid house to me, it was like she'd handed me oxygen. A way out. But to my parents, it was a jackpot they thought they were owed. They blew through the small amount of cash she left them in weeks, then slowly migrated into my house like it was the most natural thing in the world. No rent, no help with bills, not even groceries most of the time. Just opinions. My mom, Denise, would walk through the rooms I painted myself and say stuff like, "This color feels cheap. You should have asked us first." My dad dragged his old recliner into the living room like planting a flag, turned on the TV, and acted like he was king of a castle he never built or paid for. And the worst part? I let it happen. I told myself they were grieving, that I owed them, that this was what good daughters do. Meanwhile, every time I said no to some new demand, I'd get hit with lines like, "After everything we sacrificed," or, "You're so ungrateful, you know that?" They started making comments about family sharing everything, about how some families don't separate money. And then came the Europe trip. Their dream vacation, my silent panic. They sat at my table, sipping wine I bought, casually suggesting we use a bit of the house's equity so they could go. "You're doing well," my mom said, scraping her fork across the plate, "and it's time you give back." I didn't take the loan for them, but I did pay for most of that trip. With my own savings. With my own fear of being the bad guy. And while they were flying business class over the Atlantic, I was at home staring at my bank balance and asking myself a question I didn't want to answer. When did love turn into a bill I was expected to pay forever? If you've ever felt like that, like love came with a receipt, hit like and let me know in the comments. The day everything cracked open didn't feel dramatic at first. I was in my grandma's old kitchen, dealing with a slow, annoying drip under the sink. My dad had installed the faucet himself and wouldn't shut up about how he saved me money doing it, so I called to ask where he put the warranty. Simple, right? He answered from somewhere loud, clinking glasses, street noise, people laughing. "We're heading to dinner," he said, already annoyed. "Check the drawer in the den, under kitchen." I said thanks, told him to enjoy his night. He grumbled something, and I waited for the call to end. Only, it didn't. There was the rustle of fabric, footsteps, my mom's voice. I was about to hang up when I heard her ask, "Who was that?" And then Mark's voice, my father, sounding exhausted just saying my name. "Her," he said. "Always something wrong with the house." Then came the sentence that split me open. "She's dead weight. Always has been." I froze. My hand stayed on the drawer handle. My brain tried to convince me I heard wrong. But then my mom sighed and said, almost bored, "Well, that's what happens when someone gets handed a house they didn't earn. Your mother should have left it to us. We would have used it wisely." Used it. Like I was mismanaging a stock, not living in the only safe place I'd ever known. And they just kept going. My dad's voice sharpened. "Once we're back, we're sitting her down about our retirement. That house is our future. It's ridiculous it's only in her name." My chest physically hurt. My mom lowered her voice. "She feels guilty so easily? Just push a little. She'll sign whatever. Mention medical bills. That always gets her." That wasn't concern, that was strategy. "By next year," my dad added, "the deed will have our names on it." My ears were ringing. I don't even remember ending the call. I remember sliding to the floor while the faucet kept dripping, like it was counting down the last seconds of the version of me who still made excuses for them. Tell me something. If you heard your parents plotting how to strip you of the only safety you ever had, calling you dead weight like you were an expense, not a child, what would you do? Drop your answer in the comments. And if this makes your blood boil even a little, share this video with someone who needs to know they're not crazy for walking away. Because in that moment, between humiliation and rage, one thought finally cut through the noise. If they see me as a burden, why am I still breaking myself to carry theirs? For 3 days after that call, I moved through my own life like a ghost. I called in sick, said I had a fever, but really I just couldn't risk breaking down in front of anyone. I'd make coffee, stare at the wall, and hear it again and again. She's dead weight. Always has been. You ever had a sentence replay so many times it starts to feel like it's carved into your bones? That was me. On the fourth morning, something shifted. The shaking stopped. The anger stopped feeling wild and started feeling focused. I opened my laptop and typed in a name, Lauren Pierce, a property attorney I'd worked with through one of my real estate clients. Calm, sharp, no nonsense. The kind of woman who doesn't flinch when people say ugly things. I told her everything. The house was in my name only. My parents had lived there for years without paying a cent. And now they were planning to use guilt and fake medical bills to push me into signing it over. Lauren didn't sugarcoat anything. Legally, she said, you don't owe them housing at all. The property is yours. Their living there doesn't give them ownership. If you want this to end, we end it properly, quietly, no warning. It felt like someone opened a window in a room I'd been suffocating in for decades. That same afternoon, I called a colleague I trusted, Ethan. I need a discreet sale, I told him. No sign, no listing, fast. He didn't ask for drama. He just said, I've got 2 off-market buyers. We can probably hit what you need. After that, it was like watching dominoes fall, except I was the one pushing them. I walked room to room with a notebook and made 3 piles. Mine, theirs, unsure. My stuff went into labeled boxes, headed to a small furnished place 2 hours away. Their stuff? I rented a storage unit in their names, paid 6 months up front, and booked movers to deliver everything there the day the sale closed. New bank accounts, new email, new phone number, passwords changed. Every step was a tiny act of rebellion against a lifetime of being told I owed them everything. By the time their flight from Europe landed, I was gone. House sold, money secure, locks changed. The dead weight had done the one thing they never expected. I cut the rope they'd been happily standing on. If you're still here listening, hit like, smash that subscribe button, and share this with someone who needs to be reminded. You are not selfish for protecting yourself. And tell me in the comments, have you ever quietly planned your own escape from people who were supposed to love you? Now, a year later, I wake up in a small place that's actually quiet, and it still shocks me that my first thought isn't, what mood are they in today? I water my own plants, pay my own bills, walk through my own front door, and don't flinch at every sound. Therapy helped me put words to what happened. Financial abuse, emotional manipulation, guilt used like a leash. And once you name it, it's really hard to unsee it. The hardest part wasn't selling the house. It was grieving the parents I wished I had, while accepting the ones I actually got. So yeah, sometimes the guilt still creeps in, and I catch myself wondering, am I in the wrong? Am I really the bad guy here? But then I remember, protecting myself doesn't make me cruel. It makes me free. If you've ever had to choose between your sanity and keeping other people comfortable, you are not alone. Tell me what you'd do in my place in the comments. Hit like if this resonated, and subscribe if you want more stories that say the thing most families pretend not to feel. And if you're listening in silence, I see you.